Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the William Peace University Pacers Athletics page. Whether you're watching this live stream on YouTube or on Facebook or whatever social media platform you are watching, we are happy to have you here tonight. As fall sports is back in action here in the capital city, we are currently live in Cary at Wake Med Soccer Park as we get ready to kick off the 2020 William Peace University Pacers men's soccer season with a scrimmage here tonight between the team. We're going to have the two coaches representing each other for their respective teams, as you'll have Team Peralta versus Team Ortiz in tonight's scrimmage. Team Peralta will be made up of the black tops with the gray pants for their uniforms. And you'll have Team Ortiz, as they'll be wearing the green tops with the white pants. Team Peralta will be the designated away team, and then Team Ortiz will be the designated home team. My name is Graham Hill, happy to be your play-by-play commentator for tonight's scrimmage. It's good to be back on action. This is my first broadcast of a live sports since March, so it's good to be back up here behind the mic, and we're ready to get things going here as we're about 8 minutes away from opening kickoff in tonight's scrimmage. It is a beautiful night out here in Cary, North Carolina at Wake Med Soccer Park. Mostly cloudy, cool 66 degrees by the time the game is concluded. Only going to drop down to about 64. No rain at all coming in our direction, so it's going to be a beautiful night. Beautiful Friday night for some soccer and to see sports back in action and to kick off the 2020 campaign for the William Peace Pacers. Very diverse team this season. There's a lot that this team has to offer. This season's WPU Pacers soccer team roster makes up a total of 33 players. You'll have 5 veterans and seniors that are going to be leading the charge for the Pacers this year, followed by 9 juniors, 10 sophomores, and then you'll have a total of 9 freshmen to also match the amount of juniors on this team. So you'll see a lot of strong players in this junior and freshman class, and also that sophomore class, which makes up the most of this varsity roster. And you also have some players from all over the place on this roster as well. 7 local triangle players, a total of 26 players from the state of North Carolina. 3 out-of-state players and 4 international players are on this roster. So this team has a lot of diversity, a lot to offer, and when you have a team like this that's just sort of all over the place in the lineup, it makes for a really, really fun season and some great competition out there on the pitch. And that should be what we see here tonight as these two teams get ready to face off against each other in this scrimmage. And the good thing to look forward to in this game is you're going to see just some hard competition, as since this is a scrimmage and these two teams are going up against each other. They've been practicing with each other. They've been preparing since the second week of September, so they are ready to go and they are ready to duke it out against one another. So my predictions for the game, personally, I believe we're going to see a game that's all over the place. I don't want to say an unorganized game is what we're going to see, but definitely think you're just going to see two guys out there almost playing just like a pickup game. They're just going to be having fun, trying to score some goals on each other. So whatever team wins can have their respective trash talk to give to the other team Monday at practice. So it should be a lot of fun, and I'm very excited to see how this game is going to turn out. Of course, for those watching on the live stream, this is a good reminder that the NCAA promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators, and they request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives through the live stream will not be tolerated. And at this time, let's go ahead and give you the starting lineups for the two teams. Again, we are live here at Wake Med Park for tonight's NCAA Division III scrimmage between Team Peralta and Team Ortiz of your William Peace University Pacers. And at this time, let's meet the starting lineups for the designated away team, which will be Team Peralta. Starting goal for Team Peralta, you'll have a junior from Rocky Mount, North Carolina, number 10, Dylan Garbrandt. At defense, a junior from Raleigh, North Carolina, number 3, Mo Diaby. At defense, a junior from Jacksonville, North Carolina, number 16, Karan Williams. At defense, a junior from Long Island, New York, number 19, Alfonso Tercios. At defense, a sophomore from Clinton, North Carolina, number 27, Ashton Tyndall. And that's going to make up the 4 defenders that are going to be in the backfield for Team Peralta. Next up at midfield, a junior from Swansboro, North Carolina, number 9, Sammy Suazo. At midfield, a sophomore from Sanford, North Carolina, number 23, Jose Aguirre. At midfield, a sophomore from Clinton, North Carolina, number 22, Peter Darden. At midfield, a freshman from Wake Forest, North Carolina, number 30, Josiah Corona. And then you have the two forwards in tonight's matchup. First, a junior from Santa Rosa de Copan, Honduras, number 10, George Aguilar. And then the other forward you'll have for Team Peralta from El More, El Salvador, number 7, George Lemus. Of course, Team Peralta is going to be led tonight by head coach Ozzie Peralta. During the regular season, he is the assistant coach. This is his 4th season with the Pacers, and he's also the director of athletic communications at William Peace University. And now the starting lineup for Team Ortiz. You'll have starting in goal a freshman from Hubert, North Carolina, number 39, Trip Kidd. Then at defense, you'll have a senior from Raleigh, North Carolina, number 8, Jose Garcia. At defense, a sophomore from Morehead City, North Carolina, number 36, Jason Bates. At defense, a sophomore from Sanford, North Carolina, number 26, Rush Campbell. At defense, a senior from Franklinton, North Carolina, number 12, Ruben Santiago. At midfield, a senior from Cary, North Carolina, number 29, Austin Hallstrand. At midfield, a sophomore from Robbins, North Carolina, number 18, Alex Hernandez. At midfield, a freshman from Raleigh, North Carolina, number 6, Caleb Bullock. At midfield, a freshman from Port-au-Prince, Haiti, number 25, Didi San Luis. And then the two forwards, you'll have first from Clinton, North Carolina, number 14, a sophomore in Reed Taylor. And then at forward, a freshman from Kernersville, number 2, Donnie Leahy. And, of course, Team Ortiz is led by head coach Christopher Ortiz, who is in his 2nd season at William Peace University. And head coach Ryan Huber, who's going into his 4th season with the Pacers, has the night off. He is in attendance there here at Wake Med Park, scouting out his team, seeing what he likes, what he doesn't like, and getting a good scout report before the Pacers officially start their 2020 campaign season. But tonight they are in action against each other. A little friendly-on-friendly rivalry with these teammates. As they get ready to square off against each other. Similar formations for both teams, actually identical. Both teams will be running a 4-4-2. The only difference is the two goalies, as you have a junior in number 10, Dylan Garbrandt, for Team Peralta, going against the freshman who is getting called up tonight from Hubert, North Carolina, number 39, Trip Kidd, for Team Ortiz. Again, Team Peralta will be the designated away team. They'll be wearing the black tops with the gray bottoms. And then Team Ortiz will be in the all-white uniforms with the green letterings. Team Peralta with the white letterings. As the two teams are meeting, going over the final game plan. Probably figuring out which player they're going to try to get into the head of the most. And this is the exciting thing about starting off your season with it being a scrimmage. You get to go against your brothers, your teammates that you go against every day in practice. But there's a lot more leaning on it tonight as really it's going to give whoever wins this game bragging rights. And maybe you'll see it play an advantage to who the official starting lineups will look like and what decision making will go into that. But Team Peralta is already making their way out onto the field. Team Ortiz with the final pep talk and the final call as they take the field. And we get ready to go here at Wake Med Field for the 2020 William Peace University men's soccer scrimmage between, once again, Team Peralta and Team Ortiz. My name is Graham Hill, excited to be on the call here tonight. First game back, and it should be a good one. And it looks like Team Peralta will be making their way to the goal to the left of the camera for the first half, with Team Ortiz making their way to the goal to the right of our setup here in the press box at Wake Med Park. And it looks like taking the opening kickoff for Team Ortiz will be number 2, Donnie Leahy. 7:05 is the start time here as we wait for the officials to give the official word. There's the opening whistle, and we are underway with this scrimmage. Once again, this will be a good filling out game for the Pacers as Team Ortiz has the ball first. Kind of some passing around as they try to send it up to the middle. There's a deflection there by the defender, and now pushing it up the sideline by Corona towards the corner, but the defense of Ortiz is there to stop it. And now Caleb Bullitt with a pass up the middle off one foot. Team Peralta gets it right back. And now trying to spread out the field once again as they go back down towards that sideline. As they pass it back up, Corona's there. He kicks it back to the defender. And number 3, Mo Diaby, who passes it up. As Corona has it once again, and now he tries to get it up to the middle as his intended target was Darden. But Darden passes it back to Corona. And now Corona will send it to the far defender on the right side of the field. And a deflection out of bounds stops the play right there. So as I mentioned, I knew this game was going to start off a little bit fast, and that's exactly what it's doing as Team Peralta is trying to add some pressure right off the bat to the midfield and defenders of Team Ortiz. As the ball will be thrown into the far sideline as the receiver gives it right back. And now Team Ortiz breaks it up around midfield. Now a pass to the far left side as the ball is going down the far end. And both players go down. And now the ball is kicked out of bounds for a stoppage of play once again. And not able to identify who the players are that far away on that side of the field. But once they come back into close contact, we'll try to get a number on them. 45-minute halves here. As Corona has the ball, and he is taken down. Or excuse me, that was Sammy Suazo who got taken down. Now Team Peralta is on the attack once again as they have the ball back. Great spin move there by Lemus as he takes the first shot of the game, but it goes far right. And now freshman Trip Kid send the ball back into play. As now Team Ortiz tries to get their first set of offense going in the game. Ball deflected out of bounds once again. Team Peralta will throw it in to the back fenders, who get their first touch of the game, as now they'll send it back to Garbrandt, who will put it back into play. And now coming down the sideline is Tercios, but the ball is knocked out of bounds by Caleb Bullock. A long stretch pass to the far left side of the field as the ball is deflected out of bounds once again. There's a throw-in to Suazo, who takes it. Now passes it back to the defender. Back up the middle to Aguirre, who passes it to the close side of us. To Darden. Darden sends it down the field to leave as number 19, Tercios, and a whistle is blown to stop play. As I believe he was called offsides, so Team Ortiz will get the ball back. For Team Peralta, they only have 3 lone substitutes. For Team Ortiz, they only have 5 substitute, as some pressure was applied just then by Team Peralta. But Kidd is able to get it, and he'll kick it back up to midfield, where it is received by Reed Taylor, who now sends it down the line. And now a kick to the goalie of Garbrandt, who will send it back into play. Team Ortiz is trying to get a shot off, and they finally take their first shot of the game, as the attempt was made by number 29, Austin Hallstrand. But that ball falls out of play. That evens up the shots on goal at 1 apiece for Team Peralta and Team Ortiz. As Garbrandt sends it back into play. Pass right back from the defender, and then Garbrandt sends it towards about midfield. Well, Team Ortiz will get it. Pass up the middle to Leahy, and now Leahy passes over to the right side to Caleb Bullock, who tries to chip it back up, or chip it into the box, but it's deflected and taken away by Team Peralta. And that is number 10, George Aguilar, who's putting on the speed there, who passes it back to Tercios. Tercios tried to send it up the middle, but a whistle is blown and stops play. So it's going to be a drop from the official. Team Peralta will have it. Corona the one touch as he gets it back, and then it's deflected by the defender. And then a good through pass to the intended target of Leahy, but Garbrandt is there to stop it. And now he'll play with it for a little bit, as Team Ortiz is now applying pressure. A pass up the middle is deflected by Aguirre, but Ortiz gets it right. Team Ortiz gets it right back as they pass it back to the defender, then send it back up top to the middle. And now a pass attempt taken there by Sam Luis, but it's deflected by the defender and will go out of play. Sam Luis now has it. Guarded heavily by the defender. He gets it out to Taylor. Taylor trying to send it up the middle as he took a good pass attempt there to just try and give Leahy an easy one-touch pass to try and take a shot attempt, but Garbrandt got there first to break it up. But Team Ortiz has it has it right back. As the defender will send it back to the goalie, Trip Kid. He'll pass over to the left side to number 36, Jason Bates. Bates will send it back to Kid, and then Kid will put it out to midfield. Go ahead pass there to teams in white. 2 players in white there to receive it. As it's Leahy now from the left side, who's trying to get the ball in the middle, and the last second, number 3, Diaby of Team Peralta is there to send it out of play. And he did a great job there of making sure that ball did not go behind the out-of-bounds line so that Team Ortiz could not receive a corner kick. Or hold on, we'll wait and see here. No, it's going to be a regular throw-in. As they'll throw it back downfield to the defender. Team Peralta is right there to apply pressure. Taylor has it now for Team Ortiz. He'll pass back to the defender. Defender will redirect and tries to get it to the middle, but Team Peralta breaks it up. Corona the go-ahead pass. But Team Ortiz is right there to break it up, and now a great pass from the defender, the intended target Bullock, but it's broken up as Tercios is there to get the deflection for Team Peralta. Caleb Bullock there gets it right back. He'll send it down the right side line as number 14, Reed Taylor, with a shot there, trying to send it to the middle, but Brandett's right there to get it. Garbrandt, excuse me. And he gives it right back to his team. As Peter Darden on the left side crosses it to the middle. Corona there, little chip shot, back to Darden. Darden takes a look at his options. He's going to send it into the box. But it's deflected, and Team Ortiz gets it back. As they're taking it down the right side of the field in the middle. Great pass there by Taylor to Leahy. But Leahy cannot hold on to it. Team Peralta gets it back. And one thing that's going to be interesting to look at during this game is how well these teams are conditioned. Again, they started official practice the second week of September, so they've been going at it for a month. And now they're out there on the pitch for game action. As it was number 22, Darden, who tried to cross it up the middle for Team Peralta. Bullock now has it for Team Ortiz. He'll put it in the middle for Taylor. Bullock wanted it back but did not get it. And instead, Taylor takes a shot, but is not able to connect. Team Ortiz still has it, though. As it's going to be the defender, Ashton Tyndall, who brings it up to about midfield before he passes it off. Darden with it. Darden to number 10, George Aguilar, who possesses a great deal of speed. Was not able to get it close on target to the goal. Bullock once again with it. He'll give a one-touch pass off to the man to the right of him, Campbell. Campbell will put it up the middle. And now the defense will work with it as Team Ortiz has it at midfield. Go-ahead pass, as the intended target was Taylor. But it was number 3, Mo Diaby, the defender for Team Peralta, who got the ball first. And now we'll see our first corner kick that's going to be taken of the game by Team Ortiz. I believe that's Taylor that's taking the corner kick as he sends it into the box, and a header attempt made there, but Garbrand is able to scoop it up. Or takes it mid-air, I should say. Now it's Tyndall with it. He passes it to midfield. And now it's Jordan going down the left side line, who will pass back to Tercios. Tercios will give it to the man in front of him, and Suazo. Suazo will give it back to Jordan. Ball goes out of play there. As now all 5 defenders for Team Ortiz are warming up on the side. So we'll get ready to see some substitutions here. And a free kick has been rewarded to Team Peralta. It's George Aguilar, I believe, who's taking it on the far side of the field. There's the kick. He's going to put it right in the middle of the box, and the defender is able to head it away. Team Peralta remains in control as that's Corona with it, who will pass it off to the right side. As this man's trying to get there, but ball's going to go out of play. And they're going to say it was the last touch by Corona. As things are heading up at midfield, as it's Corona who's able to come out with it for Team Peralta, and he's going to try to send the pass ahead. But it's going to be called offsides. So Team Peralta will get it right back. Or excuse me, Team Ortiz will get it right back. Trick Kid passes it to the defender to his right side. And every time Team Ortiz tries to get something going, Team Peralta is right there breathing down their neck and applying the pressure to get the ball back. Bullock with it now. He'll show off some moves. He crosses center field. Met up by his roommate, Josiah Corona. Some friendly competition there. That's the thing you got to remember. This is a scrimmage, so you're going to see the best of friends maybe turn to enemies tonight. We don't want to see that happen, but you know the competition is going to be there. But we are still dead even at 0 apiece with just about 27 minutes left to go in the first half. Bullock with it. He'll sidestep, going towards center. He's going to take a shot, but wasn't able to get as much. He wasn't able to get as much of it as he wanted. Now Team Ortiz resets. Kid passes it off to the left back. And then that's Leahy with it at midfield, who passes it off to the man to the right of him, and Bullock. Bullock with the ball once again. We'll give it back to Leahy. Leahy turning towards the center of the field, where he gives it off. And now they've switched fields completely. And it's on the far left, now sending it back towards the middle. It's broken up by Team Peralta once again. as Aguilar gives a go-ahead pass. And they're not able to come up with anything of that, as it was Sammy Suazo who was on the move for Team Peralta. Team Ortiz with the ball at center field. Taylor passes it off to the man on the far side, who will give it back to the defender, as there's two defenders back right now for Team Ortiz. As Kidd will pass it back up to the defender on his left. They'll put it back at midfield. As Olsen Hallstrand had it. Passes it back to the defender once again. Taylor with it. Now Hallstrand. Hallstrand gives it the Bullet. Bullet with a one-touch pass as he passes it off to Campbell. Campbell putting on some speed there as he's kind of pushed and is able to lose the ball. That was Alfonso Tercios who caused the break there, as Hallstrand was on the move, trying to take a shot for Team Ortiz. They're still in control with it. Bullock has it. He'll pass it back. That's how they switch fields. Team Peralta comes up with a deflection. And the player Peralta is brought down from behind. It's difficult to try and get a number of which player that is on the far side of the field. But nonetheless, Team Peralta is rewarded a free kick. And it's going to be number 10, George Aguilar, who's going to take it. Spin the ball once. Make sure his men are set. There's a kick. He'll send it right in the middle. And no one from Team Peralta is able to get there to connect. As we have some substitutions coming in now for Team Peralta. And Team Ortiz. Coming on for Team Ortiz is going to be number 15, Kofi RPG. And then coming on for Team Peralta, it's going to be Team Peralta with possession. They put it at midfield. So it's broken up. But Team Peralta gets it right back. Far sideline. It is sent ahead by Tercios. But Team Ortiz is able to get it right back, as Josiah Corona was the player who was subbed out for Team Peralta. As now the man who just checked into the game, Appiaje, tries to get something going there, but the ball is sent out of play. The veteran goalie and number 10, Dylan Garbrandt, makes sure his men are set. 21 minutes left to go here in the first half. And now, breaking away there for a second was Peter Dordan, who took a shot, but it sails to the right side. Team Ortiz has it. Pass it back to the defender, who passes it over to the man to the left of him. And now a collision there at midfield, as it was Daibi who came up for Team Peralta to make that contact, but they allow play to carry on. The defenders of Team Peralta has it. They pass it to Jordan right in front of us, who passes it back up the middle. He tries to get it back into the center of the field, but it's deflected, and Team Ortiz has it, but the defenders of Team Peralta are able to get it right back. Jordan with it. He'll pass to the man to the right of him. Now Team Peralta is kind of playing around with it on their half of the field. And Team Ortiz is able to get it right back as the defender passes it, trying to get it upfield. And then it's sent right back to him. And they'll reset the play. Trip Kid throws it back into play to the forward defender to the left of him. And Taylor had it for Team Ortiz, who sends it back to the defender. And now the defender will send it upfield for a Piaget, but he's not able to hold on to it. Ball goes out of play. Man on for the Peralta defender. And now break up there, and there's the first goal of the game. And that is going to be scored by the man who checked in for Team Ortiz. That's number 25, Didi San Luis, who is finally able to break the double goose egg on the scoreboard. And Team Ortiz takes a 1-0 lead with 18:25 remaining in the half. And I don't know what happened there. I don't know if Garbrandt just didn't realize the pressure that was being applied there by Sam Luis, but Sam Luis was just able to steal the ball from the goalie and was able to put it in the back of the goal to score. And now Team Ortiz has seen some light in them as they're now applying pressure. And now Team Peralta will try to slow it down as the defender tries to send it upfield. That's going to take one hop out of bounds. And Team Ortiz will get it right back. The first goal of the game scored once again by number 25, the freshman, Sam Luis. That's got to be a pretty cool feeling for him, being able to score the first goal in this game, as now Team Peralta has gotten the ball on their side of the field. As it will be Gabe Pinnon throwing it in. And he's going to throw it right to goalkeeper Trip Kidd, who will throw the ball back into play. And that's San Luis, the man who scored first, with it. He'll send it upfield. The intended target, Leahy. And it looks like right now Team Ortiz, since they were able to get that first goal, is now applying pressure, but they got to be careful not to force some stuff. And now we're going to see a tangle up between Austin Hallstrand and Romero Vera. Romero Varela checking in for Team Peralta, as it's Peter Dordan who was subbed out. And Trip Kid is able to just easily pick that up and throw the ball back into play. A PJ sends it up, as he had two intended targets there, but it was the defender, Ashton Tyndall, who's also checked in for Team Peralta. $15 minutes remaining here in the first half. Team Ortiz with a 1-0 lead over Team Peralta in this 2020 WPU men's soccer scrimmage. The defender passes it back to Trip Kid. Kid will send it up the middle, and it's going to be broken up by Daibi, the defender for Team Peralta. But it doesn't matter because Team Ortiz is still within possession of it. As Leahy and Reed Taylor are going to take a seat for Team Ortiz. And Team Ortiz trying to get the ball at the middle, but goes out of bounds. As number 5, Diego Lugo subs in for Team Peralta. And it'll be number 23, Jose Aguirre, coming out. Play resumes. Team Ortiz with it. Broken up by Team Peralta. Now the defenders reset. As it's Rush Campbell right in front of us, who passes it up to Acosta. Acosta passes over to the right side to Rapije. Now Rapije is going to try and cross it up the middle, but he's going to overshoot it, and it's going to go out of play to the right of Garbrandt. And now checking in for Team Ortiz, you have Chris Torres and Nate Foote. And subbing out is Alex Hernandez. And the man who scored the only goal so far in this game, number 25, Didi Sam Luis. And he'll get a reception from the crowd, as he is the man that controls the only goal so far in this scrimmage. Exactly 12 minutes left to play in the first half. Team Ortiz with a 1-0 lead over Team Peralta. And Garbrandt picks that one up and says, I have it this time. Bounce the ball once, make sure everybody's there, and then he'll kick it off to midfield, where it's Jason Bates with the one header. Now Team Peralta has it once again, as it's Gabe Pennon running down the close side of the pitch to us, but it's taken away by the defender in a PJ. And now Team Ortiz will reset. Trip Kid will kick it off. And now Team Peralta is trying to hold on to it, and they come up with it. And a huge collision happens there, as it was number 7, George Lemus, who received the contact. And it looked worse than it did out there in the field, as Lemus was able to get right back up on his feet. And because of that contact, Team Peralta will have a free kick. That was number 24, Romero Vera, taking the kick. He has 2 men lined up to the left and right of him. Trip Kid's out there ordering directions on the field. Vera takes the kick, and he's just going right on target for goal, and Kid's not able to hold on to it. Ball comes loose, and Team Peralta is able to score. And it's going to be difficult to see who exactly got the goal, as there was 2 players from Team Peralta there. I believe that was number 28, Gabe Pennon, who scored that. Nonetheless, we're all tied up at 1 apiece. With just under 9.5 left to go here in the first half. And now Team Peralta is on the attack, but they give it away to Team Ortiz, as that's number 20, Uvaldo Acosta, with it. Austin Holstrand, who's checked back in, passes it to the right to Rush Campbell. Campbell gives it to the middle to Torres. Torres passes it up to the right side to Rapierje. And the defenders of Team Peralta are able to kick it out and get away in the meantime. Meanwhile, Aguilar and Bates get tangled up, but they allow them to play on. This Team Ortiz has it. Good cross-step move there, as it's Torres with it. Shot taken there by Team Ortiz, and it goes behind the net. Garbrandt with the free kick. Sends it to midfield, where it goes off the head of Lugo. But it stays with Team Peralta. Kid comes out of goal to kick it out. Send it back downfield. Team Peralta is still in control with it. And now it's going to be Pennon with it, who is one-on-one with the defender. And a whistle is blown, as it was Pennon and Campbell battling out there to see who's going to come up with possession. And it looks like Team Ortiz is going to be received possession of the ball. As it will be Rush Campbell who kicks it back to Kidd. Kidd will kick it up to Bates. Bates will give it to Hallstrand. Hallstrand back to Campbell. Campbell to Foot. Foot to Hallstrand. Then Hallstrand tried to put it back in the middle, but Team Peralta was able to read it and break it up, but Team Ortiz comes back up with it. And now it's Bates who crosses field to the far side. Pass up ahead, their intended receiver, Torres, and Torres is battling. He puts his hands up, trying to say that he did not foul, and there is a player down for Team Peralta. And that's going to be number 3, Mo Diaby, who went down. It's hard to tell exactly what happened, but either way, this is not what you want to see in a scrimmage when it's the same team playing against each other. And definitely, I don't think the move by Chris Torres was intentional. Just Torres and Diaby got caught up and tangled up, and whatever the case, Diaby caught the worst of it. And he is down right now as his teammates, and now Coach Huber is even walking out there to check on the junior from Raleigh, North Carolina, who played at Heritage High School. Good news is we're back here at Wake Med Soccer Park. Number 3, Mo Diaby, is back up on his feet, walking around, being checked on by his teammates. It looks like he is going to be taken off field, though, to receive attention from the medical staff. Once again, it was number 21, Chris Torres, and number 3, Mo Diaby, just getting tangled up there. And Torres looks like was not trying to initiate any contact there. From what I could see from my vantage point, it looks like they just got tangled up. And Diaby went down and did not get back up right away, and it became a very serious situation quick, as now Diaby has gone back down to the ground. Play resumes with about 5.5 left to go here in the first half. Team Peralta with it, as the defenders in the backfield are being pressured heavily, as Josiah Corona, who's checked back into the game, passes it out to the far side of the field. As it's Santiago with it for Team Ortiz. And now another mashup. Calls for the whistle to be blown. It'll be Team Ortiz taking the free kick. There's the kick to the middle, just inside the penalty box. Team Ortiz tried to get a shot off, but it was deflected by the defender. And Nate Foote with it. Couldn't hang on to it. And Team Peralta was trying to get it out of there desperately. But Team Ortiz was right there to apply pressure. Now that's number 7, George Lemus, who goes down for Team Peralta. But gets right back up. So Lemus is just going to walk it off. And Team Peralta is going to remain with possession of the ball. Off the free kick, the pass is given to Torcios. Still has it and is matched up with the defender. And Nate Foote. Nate Foote's able to get the right touch in there to make the deflection. Now Team Ortiz has it. It'll be Rush Campbell who throws it in to the defender, Jason Bates. Bates will pass it off to the left of him to Garcia. Garcia will pass it back to Kidd, and Kidd will send it up the field. Team Ortiz with it now. Under 3.5 left to play here in the first half. All tied at 1 apiece between Team Peralta and Team Ortiz. 2020 William Peace University Pacers men's soccer scrimmage. Here at Wake Med Park in Cary, North Carolina. Team Ortiz now, or Team Peralta, with some pressure. Shot fake there, and now a pass to the left side given off by Romero Vera to George Aguilar, who takes a shot and put a little too much pressure behind him. That sails over the right side of the goal out of play, which allows Trip Kidd to kick it off. 2.5 left to go here in the first half. Trip Kidd kicks it off. Torres going up for it along with Kieran Williams. And Team Peralta, just like that, comes up with it. Pass to the middle. Going back to the defender. Redirecting the play. And they'll pass it back to Garbrandt, who will send it up top, where it's taken at midfield. And that's going to be George Aguilar with a go-ahead pass to Gabe Pinnon, who scored the first goal for Team Peralta. And he'll throw it in to Vera. Vera will pass it back to Aguilar. Aguilar will pass it off to the right side to Lugo. Lugo being guarded by the defender, and as the defender, a PJ who comes up with it, but before he can take off downfield, the whistle is blown, and a PJ is not happy with the call. And Team Peralta catches a break there, and just like that, they get the ball right back off the whistle. As it will be George Aguilar, who had the ball taken away from him by a PJ, who's going to kick it off. As there are two players, one player in the penalty box and another player inside the box for Team Peralta, ready to receive. And Aguilar is not able to make contact, but Team Peralta still remains in possession of the ball on the left side of the field. Aguilar trying to make something out of nothing there as he was coming in from the left side, and the ball is kicked out of bounds, and it goes out of play. So now we're under 30 seconds left to go here in the first half. $15 seconds left to go as Kidd has it. He's probably just going to let time wind down here. Clock strikes 0. And that is the end of the first half here at Wake Med Park in Cary, North Carolina. Where it's not much of a shootout like I thought it was going to be, but it's still all tied up here at the end of the first period between Team Peralta and Team Ortiz at 1 apiece. That's going to bring us to halftime here at Wake Med Park in this 2020 William Peace University men's soccer scrimmage. As we'll take a short break. But once again, the score here between Team Peralta and Team Ortiz, all tied up at 1 apiece. In this scrimmage game, we'll take a break and be right back here at Wake Med Park. Welcome back to Wake Med Park here in Cary, North Carolina at the 2020 William Peace University Pacers men's soccer scrimmage game. As we're getting ready to start the second half up here, as we are tied at 1-1 apiece in the game so far. The goals scored in tonight's game so far first came by number 25, Didi Sam Luis, very early on to the game. I can't remember the official time that was marked, that was given for the goal, but Sam Luis, the freshman from Haiti, who came from the Epiphany School of Global Studies, was able to break the goose egg in the scrimmage, and it was able to put his team on top first, which was Team Peralta. But at the 8:25 mark of the first half, it was Gabe Pennon of Team Ortiz who was able to score the game-tying goal. And that's where we find ourselves right here in this scrimmage. All evened up at 1 apiece as the two teams get ready to take the field once again. And so far, the energy's been there. It's been back and forth between the two teams. Neither team has really controlled a lengthy time of possession. For a while there, it was Team Peralta who was just breathing all down the neck of Team Ortiz and the defenders. But once Team Ortiz was able to get their first goal of the game, you started seeing the action pick up a lot more. And you started seeing Team Ortiz apply just as much pressure, if not more, than Team Peralta. As the two teams are heading back to their respective benches, as we get ready to kick off the second half here on a beautiful Friday evening at Wake Med Park here in Cary, as the temperature has only dropped 2 degrees, so hopefully we're not too cold out there. If you're in attendance watching this game on the live stream, or if you're showing your Pacer pride by tailgating right now on the truck bed, or if you're at home watching this live stream on Facebook, William Peace University Athletics YouTube page, wherever you're at, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening in. Of course, my name is Graham Hill. I'm the play-by-play commentator for tonight's contest. In the 2020 William Peace University Pacers men's soccer scrimmage, it was Team Ortiz who received the opening kick to start the game. So now it'll be Team Peralta who will start off with the ball as the whistle blows, and we are underway here in the second half. And let's see if the action and the energy can match how it was in the first half. And for myself personally, I'm sure a lot of people watching this game in person or on the live stream, I want to see some things kick up here, no pun intended. I want to see the energy pick up, then I want to see a lot more goals be scored, as it feels like it's been 1-1 for a while, but that just shows how well the defenses have been playing, as they need to receive a lot of credit, as seems like Team Ortiz and Team Peralta's defense were just working the most all throughout the first half. And honestly, credit to them for as many times as the two teams' offense were able to get the ball in the box. The defenses held their own, stood their ground, and did not allow for more than one goal each to be scored, which is very impressive considering how many shots were taken on goal by both teams' offense in the first half. As it's number 16, Williams, taking the ball down to the right side, who's going to pass it into the middle, where it's going to be Lemus who has it. Lemus is now getting to the box, takes a shot, but it's blocked by the defender. But Team Peralta has it right back, as it's going to be Williams once again. He's going to try to kick it into the middle, but it's going to be broken up by Team Ortiz defenders. And now we find the ball back at midfield, where Team Ortiz is now on the attack for the first time in the second half. And it is the speed demon, Kofi PJ, with it. And now a shot's taken, but that's going to sail to the left side, and that's going to allow for the junior goalie, number 0, Dylan Garbrandt, to pick it up and throw it back into play. Team Peralta with it, passing it around, passing it back, not sending it up just yet. As now they're taking the ball up to center field, where it is Aguirre, who is a big name and a big target throughout the first half for Team Peralta, along with Aguilar. And now it's the defender, Nate Foote, for Team Ortiz, trying to cause some disturbance there among the midfielders, but the ball finds its way back to the goalie, Garbrandt, who kicks it out, and it goes out the left side and out of play. So it's going to remain with Team Ortiz for possession. Once again, the game is all tied at 1-1 apiece. 4 minutes have already gone away here in the second half, I should say. Team Ortiz with it. Santiago passes it back to his defender, who then sends it up. And just like that, Team Peralta comes up with it. And now Team Peralta pushing it upfield. The offense is clicking. They have it now as a pass is made to the middle of the box, where a shot was probably going to be taken there, but it was deflected by the defender. But Team Peralta remains with it in control, as now it's going to be at the top of the box, as it is Aguilar who's trying to make his way past the defender. Sent the ball a little too far ahead of himself, which allowed a defender to come up with it. And now Team Ortiz is going to take control as they're taking their sweet time pushing the ball up the field. And now you finally see a pass made. And now they're going to switch fields back to the middle. And the center back will pass it to the right back, or the left back, I should say. And the defense is kind of just going to play around with it for a little bit and allow the midfield and forwards to catch a breath. But now Team Peralta is on the prey and on the attack, as it was number 5, Diego Lugo, getting in there to cause a disturbance amongst the defenders. And now it's the defenders of Team Peralta who are going to reset and kind of allow some breathing here to take place among the two teams. As I mentioned, this is the William Peace University Pacers men's soccer team. This isn't their first official game since it is a scrimmage, but it is their first game of their 2020 campaign. They've been practicing for a full month. And so far, you haven't seen too much issues with conditioning, which is something that I thought could have been a problem here. And what I mean by that, you haven't seen a lot of men, going down with cramps or just really having their hands down on their knees and gasping for air, trying to catch breathers. So far, it's been back and forth, really setting the pace. Have the Pacers been doing. And so far, you're just loving the energy that you're seeing out here, as it looks like none of these guys are tired. And really, how could you be? You probably have so much energy as it's your first game of the season. You're not playing against an opponent, but you are playing against your own teammates, which I believe it probably adds a little bit more excitement than it would for an opening night game. But you can't ask for anything better than a Friday night evening, beautiful weather, beautiful temperatures out here at the beautiful Wake Med Soccer Complex. And for these young men out here playing tonight, they're probably just happy to be out there on the field and kicking it off, literally, as they get ready to set their eyes after this to open the night and officially kick off their 2020 campaign, as it's now number 22, Peter Darden of Team Peralta, applying pressure, but he loses the ball, and Team Ortiz comes back up with it, as now it's number 20, Uvaldo Acosta, who sends it upfield, trying to connect with number 15, Kofi PJ, who was also a main target for Team Ortiz in that first half. But Team Peralta comes up with it, as now Team Peralta is attacking to the goal to the right of our camera setup here, whereas Team Ortiz is going towards the left of our camera setup, as that was Chris Torres, who almost had a breakaway there but just couldn't hang on to it. And Torres, being the competitor that he is, he's probably going to wish he had that one, as if he had gotten through, he would have just been one-on-one with Dylan Garber, and you could have seen a freshman versus a junior situation there for a shot attempt on goal. But nonetheless, the ball is at midfield. It's Team Peralta on the attack, and too much emphasis on a pass by number 24, Romero Vera, who is also a big target for Team Peralta in the first half. Allows the ball to get to the freshman Trip Kid, who's played phenomenally well so far in this game, and in my opinion has been a great leader both vocally and play-wise. And for a freshman playing his first collegiate game, he so far has held his own, as the one goal that was allowed on him, really couldn't do too much about it. He had two men attacking him, and he was able to get one block, but that extra man that was in the box with him was just able to pick up the pieces and score, and that was Gabe Pennon, who got that goal for Team Ortiz at the 8:25 mark, as we have a stoppage in play with 36-19 left to go here in regulation. One thing to note here, if this game were to end still tied at 1-1 apiece at the end of regulation, I believe extra time would be given. And at the end of an extra period, if the scoreboard has still not broke even, then I believe they would send this into shootouts to try and determine a winner of this game. That's how they do it at the professional and the other collegiate levels, so I assume that's how they would do things here, which then again, with this being a scrimmage against one team, they can kind of do whatever they want with the rules. But so far, with how much of an exciting game this has been, I wouldn't mind seeing some PKs been taken. But right now, Team Ortiz is trying to stop that from happening, as it was Ruben Santiago going down the far left side of the pitch towards the corner, but he had his attempt broken up, and just like that, Team Peralta is back on the attack. So far to start off the second half, I believe there's been no shots on goal yet. It's really just been both teams battling out, trying to control time of possession, as right now it's Team Ortiz with the advantage as they have the ball. And now it's Nate Foote trying to go up to us. He's going to battle Josiah Corona, two freshman guys that live on the same hole on campus. And Corona is going to get the better of Nate Foote as he's going to kick the ball out of bounds. As I mentioned, you got a very diverse team here for this 2020 William Peace University Pacers squad. A lot of parts that make up this team. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, this William Peace University Pacers soccer team roster has a total of 33 players. And you only have 5 seniors on this team, but there are 5 seniors that were huge last season. And for Coach Huber, who's in his 4th season at the helm of this William Peace University Pacers team, you know he loves to see that. Then you have 9 juniors 10 sophomores who make up the most players on this team, and then a strong freshman class that makes up 9 players. 7 local triangle players, a total of 26 players from the state of North Carolina. Coach Huber's done a great job of recruiting locally, but he's also doing a great job of recruiting out of state, as there are 3 out-of-state players on this team. And one thing that makes Coach Huber so effective and has gotten him some big recognition in the USA South Conference is how well he's able to recruit out of the country, as there's 4 international players on this roster. Your 3 out-of-state players that you have come to us from South Carolina, New York, and Dallas, Texas. And then your 4 international players come from the United Kingdom, El Salvador, Haiti, and there's one more that I'm missing. And Honduras is the last location of our international players on this year's 2020 William Peace Pacers squad. As now Dylan Garbrandt comes sprinting out of goal for a slide and stoppage that sends the ball back to Team Ortiz. And it's Acosta with it. As now Team Ortiz has it right here in front of us at midfield. And now the ball's going to be sent back to Garcia. Garcia is going to turn around and pass it back to Garbrandt. Garbrandt's going to send it back into play. And Team Ortiz once again regains possession. And now you're starting to see some good strategic soccer, as Team Ortiz looks like they'll make a push, get some good passes through at midfield, and then they don't like what they see, they'll pass it back to the defenders, which right now there's only 2 defenders that are back there for Team Ortiz. So they're adding 2 extra set of players to the attack on midfield. And now Team Peralta is just trying to get the ball off from their side of the field, but Team Ortiz still maintains possession with it on the far side of the pitch. Good passing there, and now Team Ortiz finds themselves inside the box, but they have to regroup and take it out almost to where the corner is. And now Team Peralta gets a break as there's a player down for Team Ortiz. And then as number 19, Alfonso Tercias for Team Peralta tries to pass it off to his teammate at center field, a whistle is called, and they're going to check on that player who is down towards the far side corner. But luckily he's back up on his feet and is walking it off, as it looks like we're getting ready to see some substitutions being made here for both Team Peralta and Team Ortiz, as it's going to be number 28, Gabe Pennon, who got the goal for Team Peralta. He's going to check back in. And then look at this. It's going to be Didi Sam Luis, who got the goal for Team Ortiz, who's going to be checking back into the game. As the 2 players are talking with each other. If I had to guess, probably complimenting each other on each other's goal. Number 32, Nate Foote, being the enforcer, making sure they're not overstepping their boundaries and trying to get on the field too early. And it also looks like number 6, Caleb Bullock, is going to check back in for Team Ortiz as play resumes. Team Ortiz still has it, as they're just doing a great job of passing around. As it's Hernandez who passes back to Hallstrand. Hallstrand will pass it back behind him to Hernandez. Hernandez will try to get it down to the left corner. And Team Ortiz is going to try to put it back in the middle. Chris Torres is trying to make a break there, but Acosta missed him. And now another whistle is given. And now you're going to have Didi San Luis and Caleb Bullock check back in for Team Ortiz. And it's going to be Acosta and Apiaje who check out for Team Ortiz. And then Team Peralta checking back out is number 24, Romero Vera. So some fresh legs in for the two teams that are very limited on substitution. Again, Team Peralta only has a total of 3 substitutions that they can choose from off the bench, whereas Team Ortiz has a little more depth with 2 extra players to make up a total of 5 players that they can sub in. And now it looks like another player for Team Ortiz is getting ready to come back onto the field, and that's going to be Donnie Leahy, the freshman forward from Kernersville, North Carolina. And a goal is scored, but it's called offsides, and I completely missed that. All I know is that a goal was scored, but it was called back by the official. And Team Peralta is not happy with it. Neither is Karan Williams. And yes, even though this is a friendly and a scrimmage, the competition and the competitiveness is still there, as Team Peralta wanted that goal to count. But nonetheless, with under 28 minutes left to go here in regulation, we are still tied up at 1-1 apiece. As now we're getting ready to see a free kick be taken by Team Ortiz. So now Dylan Garbrandt directing his defenders, as Trip Kid is doing the same on the opposite end. And it looks like taking the free kick for Team Ortiz is going to be number 8, Jose Garcia. Garbrandt is not happy with the way his defenders are lined up. Garbrandt takes a shot, and he's just going to put it right on target for Garbrandt, who's going to have no trouble catching that one. Garbrandt still directing traffic. Goes to the side. Kicks it off his right foot and puts the ball back into play. Whereas Team Ortiz, who has it right back. Right in front of us is Ruben Santiago. Crossing midfield. Passes it off to the right side to Hallstrand. Hallstrand looking for Caleb Bullock, who was going down the left side, and Bullock stuck his leg up, I believe, a little too far, and that's why the whistle was blown for a high kick. And now number 2, Donnie Leahy's going to check back in for Team Ortiz. And number 31, Luis Acosta is going to check out. Play resumes. Team Peralta has it for the first time in what seems like a while. And just like that, Team Ortiz comes up with a deflection as it's Alex Hernandez taking it up. And then he's brought down by the defender for Team Peralta, Diego Lugo. And just like that, Team Ortiz has another free kick coming up. This is not what you want to see if you're a coach, Ozzy Peralta, who's probably still simmering down after that goal getting called back. And now he sees his defense on edge once again, as it's Alex Hernandez, who just kind of doesn't put too much behind that free kick. I think he was trying to look for a man to come from the right side to try and sneak up on Dylan Garbrandt, but the ball goes out of play. And so Team Peralta gets it back. And that's another thing. It seems like every time Team Peralta gets the ball back here in this second half, it is not off steals or deflections. It's just simply off of getting the ball back off free kicks and Team Ortiz putting the ball out of play. But it seems like so far Team Ortiz is really setting the pace and controlling the offense here in this second half, as the referee wanted to reset. Play starts once again. Coming up on about the 24.5-minute mark here in the second half. Still tied at 1 apiece, but now Team Peralta is on the attack, as now it's Sammy Suazo trying to make something happen, who passes back to the left side to George Aguilar. Aguilar's going to pass it back up to the middle to Diago Lugo, who's going to pass to the left side. And now Team Peralta tries to take a shot attempt, but I believe that was number 23, Jose Aguirre, who tried to take that shot attempt, but he was met immediately by Team Ortiz defender foot. And that's a great shot that was taken there. Had a nice curve to it, but Trip Kidd stood his ground and was able to stop it. And I believe it was Karan Williams who took the shot. And now, as Didi San Luis and the man whose name I just mentioned, Karan Williams, got tangled up, ref blew the whistle as plays resume once again. And now Team Peralta, just like that, has the ball and Team Ortiz in, as Peter Darden takes a shot that looked like it had enough to squeeze in, but it doesn't. But Team Peralta still on the attack. Aguilar trying to get something going with a pass in the box, and instead they had to pass it back out, where Karan Williams was looking for Hallstrand once again, but he was called offsides. And now as plays resume, Team Ortiz has it. Caleb Bullock had it, passed it back to Alex Hernandez. Hernandez passes over to the right side to Austin Hallstrand. And my apologies, it was number 22, Peter Darden, who was called offsides for Team Peralta. And because of that offside call, Team Ortiz has it. Just a little bit over the left side of midfield. Hallstrand passing over to the right side, where the player now comes in. Now they're looking at Leahy. Leahy who takes a shot, and that ball is just going to glide across the ground. And Dylan Garbrandt's just going to take one knee to retract it, and is going to give the underhand pass back into play. Now Team Peralta trying to readjust. And now a go-ahead pass down the right sideline is broken up. And Team Ortiz couldn't get things situated. And the ball did go out of bounds, and it looked like it was going to stay with Team Peralta, but a Team Ortiz player came in there and ripped the ball out of the hands of Aguirre, who didn't take too kindly to that. But the referee said, "Sir, I'm sorry, but it's going to stay with the offense of Team Peralta." And when play resumed, Team Ortiz was able to get it right back, as a shot was taken just now by Ruben Santiago. And I think his leg on that shot connected with a Team Peralta defender, because he reached down and was kind of tending to that ankle. But nothing too serious. And both players are back up. But we have a stoppage in the game. And there was a substitution that was made. I didn't see what player went in, but a substitution was made for Team Ortiz, as Chris Torres comes out of the game. And now it's his teammate Austin Hallstrand with it, who passes back to Tercios, who passes back to the defender, and the defender sends it back up top, but it is deflected by Tercios of Team Peralta. Now Team Peralta is trying to get something going on offense. Great pass in between two players of Team Ortiz that was made there by number 9, Sammy Zuazo, who almost did some trickery there. And on the other end, Team Ortiz was a 2-on-1 situation with Reed Taylor and Donnie Leahy, and Taylor was the one that took the shot. And Garbrandt had to kind of extend a little bit to get that one, but he was able to get the save. And the ball's back in play with Team Ortiz still with possession. Just under 20 minutes left to go here in regulation, still tied up at 1-1. It's going to be interesting to see how things go here as the end of regulation is approaching. Team Peralta with it. As now you have a breakaway here and you find yourself Peter Dornan taking a shot. And Trip Kidd blocked the shot but could not get a hold of it. And on the rebound, a member of Team Peralta is able to score. And once again, that is the man who scored first for Team Peralta. Number 28, Gabe Pennon, who scores. So just when it looked like things were going to stay at 1-1 for a while, Gabe Pennon comes up big once again for his team and is able to score at about the 18-20 mark, we'll say. And now with 18 minutes left to go in the second half exactly, Team Peralta has retaken the lead. They're now up 2-1. Hallstrom with it for Team Ortiz. Passes it to the left side to Santiago. Santiago with a go-ahead pass now to Reed Taylor. And Taylor tries to take a shot of his own to try and give Team Ortiz the equalizer. But Garbrandt shuts it down. And now on the other end is Suazo with it, who passes it to the left of him to George Aguilar, who now gives it to Vera. Vera takes a shot. And now another shot's taken and they're able to score. And just like that, Team Peralta has extended their lead to 2 goals now. As it was number 24, Romero Vera, I believe, who came up from the left side and just put an absolute rocket into the right side of the goal. And just like that, Team Peralta now has taken a 2-goal lead. And the score here with 16.5 left to go in regulation. Team Peralta 3. Team Ortiz 1. And now Team Peralta has opened this thing up as they control a 2-goal lead. And now they're kind of having their way here as Team Ortiz is now just trying to get the ball back on Team Peralta's side of the field. And they're doing just that, but great job by the defensive backs of Team Peralta to kick the ball out of play and stop the pressure that Team Ortiz is now having to desperately apply, as they now don't really have too much time to work with. As Team Ortiz finds himself trailing by 2. And actually now a corner kick's getting ready to be taken by Team Ortiz on the far corner of the field. Garbrandt directing traffic. There's the kick. As that ball kind of takes a curve to the middle as Leahy got up there to get a head on it, but couldn't put it towards the position of the goal, and the ball is back outside the box. And now it's going to be kicked back to Trip Kidd, who's come way up out of the goal to about the circle. And now Trip Kidd is trying to send the ball way back down the field, but doesn't get the option. And now Team Peralta trying to get the ball back. Team Ortiz has it though. Ball is sent to Sam Luis. Sam Luis passed it up the middle, and they try to get the ball back to him as he was cutting inside the box. But now it's Caleb Bullock with it who's going to cross in. He's going to send that way over the goal. So with a game that was all tied up at the half at 1-1 apiece, now with 14 minutes left to go, Team Peralta controls a 3-1 lead, and the man who just checked out for Team Peralta, a man who has 2 goals in this game, Gabe Pennon, receives a nice reception from Pacer Nation, the fans here at Wake Med. Was not able to see who the player was that came in for him. I actually believe it might have been, that wasn't Jose Aguirre, he's been out there for a while. We'll just roll with it as Team Peralta had a breakaway chance, but was called offside. As now, number 15, Kofi Apij for Team Ortiz checks in. Coming out is going to be number 12, Ruben Santiago. Once again, a beautiful night here for soccer at Wake Med Park. So there's a good attendance here for this scrimmage. William Peace was given a limit of 100 fans to attend. And so far it seems like there's a good crowd out here. I don't know the exact number. Behind the fence to the left of the goal to the right of us, you have a group of students tailgating. Car is backed up. I believe a grill was out there earlier. And up against the fence supporting their classmates. Just out here enjoying a nice game here at Wake Med Park. So we reached the 11.5 mark in regulation. Team Ortiz with possession. This is Olsen Holstrand now with it, who tried to give a go-ahead pass to Leahy, but was blocked. And now Team Peralta has it once again. Now Team Ortiz is on the race as they're trying to catch up with Peter Darden, who passes it back to Swazo. Swazo gives it to Aguilar. Aguilar passes it out to the left to Aguirre. And now Team Peralta is trying to get another shot on goal, but Team Ortiz is doing all they can to break it up, and now they have possession with it. Pass up the middle. Ball's being taken. Now pass to the left side right in front of us to Rush Campbell, and Campbell sends it upfield, and just like that, Team Peralta says you can have it right back as they kick it back towards the opposite side of the field. Hallstrand now is going to switch fields to the far side where he's able to connect with Caleb Bullock. Bullock's going to give a short pass to Leahy. Leahy's going to give it back to Hallstrand. Hallstrand's going to move now towards center. Hallstrand's now starting to put on the dusters a little bit. Takes a shot and deflects off one of his teammates and into the hands of Dylan Garbrandt. So now Garbrandt was just kind of let time chew off the clock a little bit. Now he finally kicks the ball back into play. Good first touch there by Samuel Luis of Team Ortiz. Passes off to the right side to Reed Taylor. Taylor sends it into the middle to Hernandez. Hernandez passes off to the far side of the field to Williams. Williams now coming into the fray. He's inside the box, doing some great moves there, and was kind of asking for a little too much as the goalie came out. Garbrandt did come out, and I initially don't even think Williams realized that, as he was just doing some great footwork there. And someone finally came up. I think a deflection was made by a defender. Either way, the ball was going towards a wide open net, but just sailed over a little bit to the right. But nonetheless, Team Ortiz has a corner. There's a kick, sent right into the middle, and nobody on the opposite team. Ortiz is able to get it, and now Team Peralta is now coming upfield. Sent through pass now as Kidd comes out, as there was a one-on-one situation with Vera, and Kidd was able to get there first to just kick the ball out of play to the left of him. As we're now under 10 minutes left to go here in regulation. As it's going to be Gabe Pennant, who's checked back in to throw the ball back into play. And now a sent through pass for Suazo, who was going towards the goal, and he was taken down inside the box. And for the defender, Rush Campbell, he's lucky a penalty wasn't called there. So I could have put Team Peralta in a PK situation. But the ball did go out of play, and it's going to be Vera, who's actually going to take it for a corner kick. Just under 8 minutes left to go here in regulation. Puts his hands up. There's a kick. Line drive there as, oh! It was Lugo who let it take one hop and then just tried to turn around and kick it in. It made contact with Trick Kidd, but Kidd was able to hold his own and stop that from going in and extending the lead for Team Peralta. But Team Peralta is still on the attack. Is it Suazo with it? And now it's Vera with a touch once again to Pennon. Pennon will pass back to Corona, the defensive back. Corona will pass it back up to Vera. Vera will pass back to the defender, but there's too many players of Ortiz there. Now it's Leahy with a breakaway chance. He sidesteps one defender, takes a shot, and it goes to the left of the goal. And Leahy with a good take there. Just wasn't able to put on contact, as that just went just a little bit to the left of the goal. That could have made things interesting there if number 2, Donnie Leahy, had scored. Garbrandt takes a kick to the middle. A player for Team Ortiz just pokes his head up there to try and send it back towards Garbrandt. But instead, Team Peralta comes up with it. Aguilar with it. The left side of midfield. Passes it up, and it's a Team Ortiz player that comes up with a deflection. That was Rush Campbell, who took a slide there to stop anything from happening, send the ball out of play. Now play resumes. Aguilar with it once again to the right of us. Pass all to the right to Suazo, who's taking it down the right side of the field. Sidestepping, looking for something, passes back to Aguilar. Aguilar can't hold on to it, but instead Vera's there to keep the ball in possession of Team Peralta, but he didn't recognize the defender coming up in Reed Taylor. And the official not happy with the take that Taylor just made, trying to retake possession of the ball. Or no, excuse me, the whistle was called against Team Peralta. Team Ortiz has it. But I could have just scratched that and not even said it, because Team Peralta has the ball back once again. 5 minutes left to go here in regulation. And Team Peralta is just going to take a shot and just take a kick there, I think, just to wind down time. Trip Kidd's going to pick it up easily and put it back into play. And now on the other end of the field, Josiah Corona. And Reed Taylor get tangled up. And Taylor wanted a call there, but didn't get it. And Corona just kept the ball in play as now Taylor comes back to try and show the freshman who's boss. And he's going to send the ball out of play behind goal. And now Team Ortiz is going to have a corner kick coming up. It's going to be Reed Taylor who's going to take it as there's a player down for Team Peralta on the far side. As play resumes, Taylor takes the corner kick, and a collision made there with Garbrandt and Leahy as they collided with each other as Leahy was just going up to attempt a header and just ran into Garbrandt, but both players are okay. But because of the collision and the goalie interference, Team Peralta is going to escape that corner freely and get the ball back as Garbrandt's just going to kick it over to the right side to Pennon. Pennon's going to send it upfield, but it's stopped by Campbell of Team Ortiz. He's going to pass it up the middle to Nate Foote. Nate Foote passes over to the right side. And it's going to be Garcia with it. He's going to send it into the box, looking for Leahy once again, but the defender there breaks it up. Now Leahy has possession again. Now he's going to pass it into the middle where it is received by Alex Hernandez, who takes a shot but just sends it right over the top of the goal. That shot was on target, though. It was just a little too high. As Team Ortiz is desperately trying to make this game interesting once again, as we're just now under 3 minutes left to go here in regulation. As Garbrandt kicks it off for his respective team. Gets it. Now it's just going to try to dribble this thing out. Or I spoke too soon as they were applying some pressure, but the defender for Team Ortiz was there to stop it, and he passes it off to Kidd. And Kidd will kick it out. It's deflected out of bounds by Team Ortiz. So Team Peralta gets it right back, and it looks like they might try to get one more here as the pass was attempted to be made, to be put in the middle of the box by Lugo, but Aguilar, who was the closest man to him, made no attempt to get it, but they control a 2-goal lead, so probably just not trying to add to the score, trying to run things out. That's what it looks like Team Peralta is going to do, is they're just going to be doing touches and go, as now Pagan's going to take 2 passes, tries to pass it off to the right side, It's broken up by St. Louis. St. Louis passes it up to Leahy. Leahy turned around trying to see what he can work with. Now he's moving over to the right side as Aguilar got a piece of his jersey, but no call was made. And now Leahy passes over to the right side where he tries to connect with Bullock. And offsides is called. As we have 1 minute remaining in regulation, as Garbrandt sends it back into play. Team Ortiz has it. They don't have much time to work with, and that doesn't help as the pass is deflected by a Team Peralta player. Now, if you're Team Peralta, you can just try to run this out, but they're not going to do that. As Trip Kid's going to pick it up, throw it back into play quickly. And now Team Ortiz is going to have to go full on attack here if they want to score 2 goals in 30 seconds. Go ahead pass as they're trying to connect with Reed Taylor, and Taylor's brought down from behind by the defender. And oh! Taylor there with a push to Corona. I mean, there's no need for that extracurricular activity under 15 seconds left to play in the half. Then again, as I mentioned, that just comes with the friendly rivalry and the competitiveness between these two teams as the clock hits 0 before a free kick can be taken. And I don't know if extra time is allowed. It might be. I think it is, as they're going to let him take the free kick. But nothing comes of it. And waiting for an official word. And now the whistle is finally blown, and that's the end of the game. So the final score here in the 2020 William Peace Pacers men's scrimmage game. Team Peralta with an impressive win over Team Ortiz by a final score of 3-1. Goals scored for Team Peralta were by number 18, Gabe Pinnon, who scored twice. And then could not get a mark on who the other player was that scored the third goal for Team Peralta, but it was Ziti San Luis who came up with the lone goal for Team Ortiz. As the two teams are now meeting to shake hands, clap it up. This is what it's all about at the end, just seeing at the end of the day, at the end of this game, two teams congratulating each other. They are one team, they are one family, and they are the William Peace Pacers, as they now show their appreciation to the fans who are here in attendance. And now get ready to meet with head coach Ryan Hoover, who had the night off and was just in the crowd scouting. His team is now there on the field to meet with them in the middle. But that pretty much wraps it up on our end. Again, the final score here from Wake Med Park. Team Peralta defeats Team Ortiz by a final score of 3-1 in the 2020 William Peace Pacers men's soccer scrimmage. That'll do it for our broadcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to follow William Peace University Athletics page for updates on the schedule and find out when opening night will be for your men's soccer team. Once again, my name is Graham Hill. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a broadcast of the 2020 William Peace University Pacers men's soccer team.